They call me a demon, a devil spat from the sea. They call me Blackbeard. But I was a man, born Edward Teach in Bristol, when the 17th century was breathing its last. My story wasn't born of hellfire, but of English fire, in the king's service, the War of Spanish Succession. They called us privateers, gave us papers, and told us to bleed the French and Spanish dry. It was a fine trade, legal piracy. I learned the sea, I learned the cannons, and I learned that a fearsome reputation is worth more than a dozen broadsides. When the war ended, so did the king's coin. But my trade was just beginning. I served under Hornigold, a true pirate, and soon had my own command. I saw that merchants were cowards. Why waste powder and shot when you could make them surrender with a look? So I crafted a new weapon, myself. I let my beard grow wild and black, tied it with ribbons, and before a battle I'd tuck slow-burning fuses under my hat. With smoke coiling around my face like a specter, I was more than a man. I was a legend come to life. They'd drop their swords before I even drew mine. A king needs a castle. Mine was the Queen Anne's Revenge, a French slave ship, La Concorde, that I took and turned into the most feared vessel in the Atlantic. 40 guns and a loyal crew. We were a fleet unto ourselves. I even took a gentleman pirate, Stade Bonnet, under my wing. A rich fool playing at piracy. I taught him how a real captain operates by taking over his ship, of course. My power grew, and so did my ambition. In 1718, we did the unthinkable. We blockaded Charleston, one of the Crown's own ports, held the whole city hostage. Not for gold, not for jewels, but for a chest of medicine. A king must look after his men. They paid, and we vanished back into the waves. But an armada is a hungry beast. Too many men, too many shares. I ran the Queen Anne's Revenge aground, a clever accident, and left the bulk of the crew behind, taking the best of the loot for myself and my most loyal men. I even took a pardon from the governor of North Carolina. Tried to be a country squire. It didn't take. The sea calls you back. But my end came not from the sea, but from the politicians. The governor of Virginia, Spotswood, sent a Navy lieutenant, Maynard, to hunt me down in my sanctuary at Ocracoke Inlet. They caught us by surprise at dawn. They thought they had me outnumbered, outgunned. They were right. But they didn't account for my rage. We fought like cornered dogs. I boarded Maynard's sloop myself, my pistols blazing. He and I, we crossed swords. They say I took 5 bullets and 20 cuts before I fell. They took my head and hung it from their bowsprit to prove the demon was dead. But they were wrong. They killed the man, Edward Teach. But Blackbeard, they made him immortal.